Good evening. I'm calling the select board meeting order. It's Monday, July 22nd. As always, Scott, which has the link, so it's right. Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is the AP warrant, number 3, in the amount of $17,911.65.
I move that we pay AP warrant number 3 in the amount of $17,911.65.
And I second that motion. Moving second to pay AP warrant number 3 in the amount of $17,911.65. That's a AP warrant number 3 from fiscal year 2024. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor. Next item, AP warrant number 4, fiscal year 25, in the amount of $368,317.69.
I move that we pay AP warrant number 4 in the amount of $368,317.69.
I second that motion. Moving second to pay fiscal year 25 AP warrant 4 in the amount of $368,317.69. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Next item on the agenda, payroll journal number 31, $14,813.50.
I move that we pay payroll journal number 31 in the amount of $14,813.15.
Second that motion, moving second to pay payroll journal number 31 in the amount of $14,813. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Next item on the agenda is minutes of select board meeting Monday, July 8th, 6 p.m. executive session and 6:30 regular meeting. And
I move that we approve the minutes of the July 8th, 2024 executive session and regular meeting.
second that motion. Moving seconded to approve the minutes of the executive session regular meeting of July 8th, 2022. Further discussion. Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Next item on the agenda is public comment on a non-agenda item. Opportunity for anybody from town of Powell step forward and be heard by the select board. Is there anybody in the town who would like to step forward who's not on the agenda? Seeing none, next item on the agenda is department reports. All department reports can be found on the website. Click on the department reports should be there. Is there any department head question at a public meeting, Mr. O'Brien?
I have no questions.
There. I have none here. So we'll move on to the select board and report up on the select board.
I have nothing to report at this time.
Okay. An opportunity for me to report out. Liaison, planning board. Planning board meeting, they approved the redevelopment of Bradbury Mountain with condition. And they also amended the site plan for that. Are there any questions from the select board about the planning board meeting last Wednesday? Seeing that? Go on to do business. Tax amendment. Ron, you're up.
So I hope everybody saw the perfect options that it was a couple of weeks ago. We increased balance this year by 20%. That resulted in $49 million in new value. The state has a 58% of market value. By 20%, you could get to the 77% that we're currently at this year. That means that homestead for $19,250 veterans for $4,620. So last year, our tax rate was $18.85. This year, there were three options in front of you. They all hinge on whether or not or how much money, wanna take from undesignated or designated to reduce taxes. Option number one, for the tax rate $18, and that is taking nothing. And I worked in tandem with that, so for
That's awesome.
about $18.
Yes.
Okay. I am not numbered, so I'm bringing. So option two is $17.50, and that is using $150,000. And then option one is $17, and that is using $300,000. Doing, and I don't know how much information Becky gave you, but doing some calculation, even with $17, you're seeing a $500 decrease. Okay.
On
Yeah,
on a $300,000 house.
yes, and that's with option number one is $465.
Great, that's a great report. Andy, any other questions for Donna?
I have none. Studied this quite closely.
Kate Day?
Can you please elaborate on the last piece of keep in mind that people that took advantage of the state stabilization program see a much higher increase?
So last year, the state enacted the stabilization program that if you were over 65 and you had lived in or had a homestead in the state of Maine for 10 years, they would stabilize your taxes to what they were the previous year. So people in April 1st, 24 paid the same as April 1st, 23. So they saw no increase. Well, everybody else saw, I think we had a 75-cent increase last year. So last year, in my opinion, was a gift.
So that's something that they can no longer take.
No longer. It was the one, it was a very not well thought out program. It was for anybody.
So this information we gave is just to keep in mind, we have to pick option 1, 2, or 3, knowing that for 170 people who put that up, the increase, no matter what we did, would be it'll be noticed. They will notice. Okay. So I am going to open for Andy or Kate, you have a recommendation to make.
I would recommend option one. It uses it gives back the $300,000 from an undesignated fund balance. It's the taxpayers' money.
What do you think about that, Kate?
I would recommend option one. I don't really see much drama to it.
Donna, you feel overlay at 14,000?
Yeah, we don't have that.
Yeah.
So this is what we have, because we want to keep it as low as possible.
So Andy, would you like me to get a motion on that?
I would. I would like to move that we adopt option one as our mill rate for the 2025-2026 tax year, $17 per thousand, using $300,000 from the unassigned fund balance with an overlay of $14,077.55.
I second.
So it's been moved and seconded to set the mill rate at $17 per thousand, using $300,000 of unassigned fund balance to mitigate the tax increase. Is there any further discussion?
I just want to amend.
I'm sorry.
You agree to amend that?
Yes.
Okay. So, with noting that,
I got ahead of myself.
any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Can I?
Donna, you're dismissed. What?
Thank you. Can I,
Please.
four, like, and then it just pass them around and with Becky. Leave them on my desk.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for Donna?
Oh.
What you get her purpose?
Yeah. All right.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Donna.
I
You don't have to have this stuff. I don't know. You can let Donna have it.
perfect.
Oh,
So, next item on the agenda is Jordan, you have sent a letter to Jay. All my, from Elsa, Eliza Visa. I'm sorry, that. One plane.
So what I did, I don't know. Stakeholders in the program, OCP have had a bit of a tumultuous relationship over the past several years, but my situation was happier than the best rate, so I actually ended up reaching out to them for guidance. It is an Elvis, I don't worry about the person. Yeah. I spent some time speaking on the phone for you, when I tried to confirm a lot of the statements that myself and my counsel have said. And you notice I don't have any counsel with me here today, it's me and my family. People talking about. But essentially what this says, they don't need anything further other than the letter from satisfies the requirements of the section, which is what basically the process of this whole work that we've had been establishing. And my grandfather, and my grandfather, and the state has come forward and said, you are, and the reason that we receive this letter from that. So all they need is for somebody to, she basically lays out in that email the directions on how to properly navigate that form. And simply to attach that form to the form, and that's totally sufficient. To meet the status of the needs of section, 3B, which has some source.
Okay, any questions for?
Yes. The letter from Alan Gill. As I read it, the first paragraph says that the medical cannabis business at 279 Hallowell Road has been in operation since 2011, owned by Jordan and Jill Smith, is grandfathered for the following activities: cultivation of medical cannabis.
I know it's more a formality of what how, but it's structured, since it's already been accepted as authorization for IHS activity by the state. I think we all need to overlook that, the formatting of the way it's written is admittedly a little bit clumsy. No, there's not really a lot I can do about that, but the state has accepted it, and they now are saying they do accept that as authorization and verification that we are following. And they have told me that since because I asked her straight up, you know, are we grandfathered on a state level? And she said, yes, you are, because of that letter. And then another thing I'd like to point out, which was another kind of source of contention or question, was the day of the issuance of that letter, which also it's insignificant because all that letter is saying, it's acknowledging that we've been in operation that long. And also acknowledging that that equipment is safe to operate and that's certified and all of that. And again, I understand the letter is weird. I wish that he did a better job structuring it. But the fact remains, the state of Maine, they get the point. They know what it's for. They know what a C1D1 is for. They know what the inherent however he has. Like, they know what that means, and they took it, and they accepted it.
The problem lies, though, Jordan, that he has no authority to grandfather
Well,
the manufacturing of medical cannabis
He's
products. And does not say that you have been doing that since 2011, just the cultivation of medical
I know, but it's been
cannabis.
accepted by the state as such, which makes it valid. Like, there's a lot of, there's a lot of files in the town here that don't have state validation, never mind multiple years of validation. And again, it's really, it's not my fault that it's not structured in such a way. And it's also, it's really irrelevant because what OCP is saying is they've accepted it. It doesn't matter the exact details of it. All we need to do is that's fine. So we just need to attach it to the form and send them the form.
But it isn't irrelevant because we don't have an ordinance covering
You
it.
don't need it because we're grandfathered, and since the state considered us grandfathered, you don't need an ordinance. That's how the law works.
So, George,
Yes.
so I'm looking at the form, okay, you do know, so. Section 3D, local authorization required operation of registered IHS manufacturing, which you don't have. That's, yes. Within the municipality, person may not operate a registered IHS manufacturing facility within the municipality in the following question. And the firm has a person obtain all applicable municipal permits or licenses that are required by the municipality for the operation of the registered IHS manufacturing facility. By selecting yes for those, the municipality is informing that no further action is required prior to the office of cannabis policies approval of the applicant. So that's that. Then statutory guidance from municipalities. Pursuant to 22 MRS, whatever that, 2429. Municipalities may regulate registered IH manufacturing facilities within that municipality and may not permit a registered IHS manufacturing facility to operate within that municipality unless the municipal legislative body county has voted to adopt or amend an ordinance for warrant article allowing operation of a registered IHS manufacturing facility in that municipality, or unless that registered IHS municipality manufacturing is operating as a registered IHS manufacturing facility by the same person with since before December.
So what you really need to look at is, has the person obtained all applicable municipal approval permits or licenses that are required by the municipality for operation of the registered IHS manufacturing facility. And the fact of the matter is, you don't have that, you don't have an ordinance. And by the way of that Allen Hill letter, we have that approval. So I'm having a hard time understanding why, I know this is a hard line to understand, but this is what I called OCD about. And I asked them and I said verbatim, if there was no municipal approvals, permits or licenses required at that time, being before December 13th, 2018. She said there's no documentation required whatsoever. The letter we have from Allen Hill, it actually, in fact, acts as the consent agreement that we've been seeking. So we have we have an incredibly strong case here, and really, we're just asking for some cooperation. I welcome that you or the town attorney call and speak with Elisa and clear this up. There's a lot of laws where there are parts of the law that become really tough to navigate. So there's concessions made between regulators and the people that law regulates. Another may be that right now, we're all talking about the production of the Schedule I substance. Okay, so that's.
So I'm going to suggest that first of all, our attorney will definitely call.
Okay.
I gotta tell you though, as soon as you say. From. This Ellis's letter. What it means to me is that. You're asking for the Allen Hill letter to be documentation. For municipal.
No,
Tell me what you're asking. For Allen Hill's letter to be.
I'm just asking for you guys to acknowledge that we've been operating since before December 13th, 2013.
And so
There's no question of that.
can't what you're opening for that you're operating without a home occupation permit for the IVAS. There's no documentation as to you're operating the home occupation operating in violation of hazardous materials ordinance, and you're operating in a zone that's not.
Well, we're operating as a state licensed IHS facility, which actually has different regulations regarding the amount of solvent we can have.
That may be the case, but you're actually regulated by the town of Holland that has the insurance of the state.
It depends on the situation.
Okay, so we've got a couple of hurdles to get through. I appreciate you contacting the office, but I try to contact.
Her number is right, that's her direct number.
Thank you. And unless there's any further discussion.
Well, I'd like to hear more questions and I'd like to hear more answers as to why anyone thinks this guidance from OCP is insufficient to kind of lead us closer to a better decision. I see a lot of everyone just kind of picking this apart when I sense, I don't understand why that is. I feel like there's been all this speech of collaboration, but I'm feeling like you guys are really trying very hard not to let this happen, even when we've been given, a very simple roadmap by OCP, and they've really said, there's certain parts of this we understand are tough to navigate, and we're willing to kind of look the other way on some of these things for the sake of people not losing their businesses like we are. And,
So may I address that?
yeah.
I think part of, at least for me personally, as a member of the select board, part of my concern is two things. One is that there's no town meeting vote. There is no ordinance. So I don't feel like I'm the person in power that can just do things without really the authorization of every single voting resident that lives in the
Oh.
town, and then have them having an opportunity
Yeah.
to express what they want.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
and the other problem I have, just looking in my thoughts about the form and email, which is pretty fresh, which just came down the pipe to us, is that if we just sort of check the boxes at this point, we have already a zoning board of appeals vote that had reservations about the permitting and some of the hazardous substances. And so this, at this stage, doesn't address those issues like currently right now. And I'm in a difficult position, I feel, because as the newest member of the select board, I just don't have enough history to be able to feel like I can really adequately weigh in on the letters and all the things that have come down the pipe since 2018, other than what's presented to me and what happened now.
Yeah.
Really, I would like to speak to, at least say that I'm just trying to make the most fair assessment. But please understand that
Yeah.
I'm a little bit between, and there's just nothing personal about it. A little bit
Right.
between what one person wants and what the rest of the town.
I think what people aren't understanding is there's no ordinance necessary. Like, you're a grandfather business, that we work very hard to earn that. And what that means is that no ordinance is needed. It does not need to go through town. OCP has acknowledged that we're grandfathered on the state level. Like, this is a simple thing that's just a couple of check marks, it's a formality, it's the same thing we've been doing for over a decade. Nothing's gonna change, the only thing that's gonna change is this denial really negatively impacting a panel family's livelihood. And that's what this will be remembered as. I yield, thank you.
So,
Unless anyone has any further questions.
no, thanks, George. So we had Vice Color attorney. This is actually letter from so cannabis policy. And once again, some added nuance to the conversation. You know, if the state, I think we really need our attorneys really question the state, say, are you willing to sign off on this business? Given X, Y, Z, that, because I don't, one thing I don't want to do is put Jeffrey, I have no problem.
No, no,
I
I don't want to sound liable for any.
So, and the question becomes, so, I'm assuming that Jordan Smith is going into this with eyes wide open, that if this does, that our attorney says, okay, then this opens up, the other violations that occurred since. So we would formally recognize this as an operation that exception as violation. So sense. So that's sort of where we are. And you're trying to protect the business and operation, but you're also trying to check that business reputation by not putting in violation of our land use. Does that make sense to the board?
Yes, please.
Not right now, we're in deliberation. Thank you. So that's our conundrum. But I just don't see where, I think now that Attorney Burns needs to look at this.
That's the way-
I'm not a legal mind. He says, what do you think about that case?
So Natalie Burns has not as yet seen this most recent email that came from OC.
That's right. We just started 1 hour. You think it's worth send that to her and get her?
I would say absolutely.
Would you?
I think we need her weigh in on.
Otherwise, we would be going against her, paying her a lot of money to get her. So when? Not on vacation.
I don't know if you allow it.
So I would suggest information forwarded to Natalie. After prioritize. And or, you know, respond. It's that response. So. Okay. That way. If that's all we can do.
Can I just quickly say, Mr. Smith, can you please copy the select board on your emails, the email you sent over the weekend, I could see till I came in. It was.
Yeah, for
super
some
hectic.
reason,
It was super hectic this morning too, with scratch card rollout, so I didn't get it forwarded to them till late this morning, which is why they didn't get as much notice to review this. It was a good copy and them, of course, once it gets to them.
I tried to, for some reason, it got bounced. Yeah.
I think it's because we're using .com instead of .org. and
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Jeff, so that way it gets to them a little quicker.
Sure.
Just.
Yeah. I just want everyone to remember, like, we have a August 2nd deadline for the CPA appeal.
Yeah.
So getting any answer before then.
So.
a good idea.
If there is. Becky will certainly let you as a board know whether or not. And should include that request and making sure that Attorney Guard knows that.
And we have had confirmation from multiple code enforcement officers that are on so many.
Exactly.
I have them on top. I don't want to argue, I'm just saying, that's, saying, so.
That's a statement of your perception. Okay. So put the words back.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. All right. Are we? Going to move forward on it? Good. Yeah.
Nice to see you all.
Next item on the agenda is August meeting date. Becky.
So typically, we look at the August calendar and determine if we might take one select board meeting off, so I was just popping that on the agenda tonight.
I move that we take the last meeting, fourth Monday of August off.
That's good. I'm gonna be in Minnesota anyway.
August 26th.
Moved and seconded, just had one select board meeting. August, taking 26th off. Ready for the discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? It's for the next item on the agenda, it's town office closure. Well. Explain that one.
We have, three fall, there is the registration and an election workshop, it's a 2-day workshop. I have taken the election one, but not the voter registration. For 4 years, I've tried to take it, and it's always been a hurdle. I also want Pascal to be able to take it, coming on board and taking over the election, so it would require us to go to each 12 person.
Andy,
I think it's probably a good idea.
8 day,
Great.
would you like to make a motion?
I make a motion that the town office be closed on September 11th, 2024.
Andy,
I will second that motion.
seconded. Discussion, all in favor? Joy, training.
Thank
Next
you.
item on the agenda is revaluation. So time has come. Need to send out an RFP to revalue the town. Andy,
I move that we send an RFP for the revaluation process
for the year,
for the year 2028.
And someone please elaborate.
yes, right now, we're currently at 58% is valuing our property at 58% of market value, factored in 20% increase this year, which is why actually it's been about $500. But we can't do the thing called factory. We're using everybody's active percentage for reevaluation, so it's happened every
10 years.
10 years. Our last reevaluation was 16. So we're, in order to get into the queue for businesses that revalue town, next year would be a good time to put out an RFP for the year 2028, 12 years beyond our last state law, but does a revaluation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we want to set aside a warrant article to set some funds aside for that revaluation? Yeah.
Our assessing agent suggested $150,000, so it might be good to go $50,000. But that's going to, you move to authorize our town administrator to post an RFP for reevaluation. This is for the year 2028. David, second that.
I second that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing that all in favor? So move. Next item on the agenda, future facility use committee. Right, that's probably you.
It is. They are nearing the end of their responsibilities at this point in time. We should, I would say, by September, have the final report from Port City architects. So
Vernal pools and all that.
no vernal pools.
So what is
The committee is probably looking to disband at that point in time. Once their commitment is done, and then we would have to search for another committee for the building committee.
is the future facilities commission going to have a recommendation
They will.
for formation? So we should be on the lookout for people who would have spatial recognition, architectural, some office, stuff like that. Okay. That it?
That is
Any
it.
questions, Kate, or Brian, future for the committee?
No, thank you, Mr. O'Brien, and future for all their time and work.
They've done a lot of work.
We'll have to have some kind of recognition that.
We dedicated.
Next item on the agenda is Merrill Bridge on the Fuller Range Road. Then we have Big Bridge. You step up. So that time tells what. Matt Nielsen, Road Commissioner. Al Roder.
Yes. So, within the last year or so, the state has contacted me, so the whole range road is a town hall road. But the bridge meets, the requirements to be state owned, so because. So it's a little confusing, but not only the roadway, we maintain that, but they own the rights to the bridge and they are there to maintain it and, keep the bridge and be, they're in control of the bridge. So they reached out to me last December, after one of their bridge inspections that said that the bridge had some, deficiencies and they were dropping the bridge from 50 ton to, 10, which is 20,000 pounds. So any vehicles over that weight. Yes,
40,000 pounds.
yes. Well,
40, yeah, drop.
yeah, it's a drop of 40,000. So those vehicles over 20,000 pounds are supposed to cross over. They put their own signs up, they notified us. This changed a couple things down due to, the town's public works and fire department and buses all being over that. So we adapted to that, but says, the bridge route inspections usually happen every 2 years. Where this bridge is in, not very good shape, they do a 6-month inspection. They did a 6-month inspection, and I'm not sure, it's either May or June, and it went to the board, their review board, and they have now said that they want to draw, or they have to draw the bridge to 3 ton, which is basically small action. I talked to a couple different representatives from the state, DOT, mostly my concern on how kind of cripples parts of the town with fire EMS and, different transports for buses and public works and stuff like that. And, basically, like they explained to me, there's tons of bridges like this in Maine, that are, kind of in the same shape, have the same issues, and they, plan to replace this bridge in 2027. I asked the question of if this bridge doesn't make it to 2027, what happens in that case? And they said the bridge will be shut down. So that road would be impassable to through traffic. And that is the next step with being dropped from 10 ton to 3 ton. The next step would be bridge down. And our hands are kind of tied at this point. There's not much we can do. In a sense, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I'm hoping to work with the state department to try to see if we can get this, issue fixed sooner than 2027. Any questions?
I also have a call into state representative Joe Leonard and also state senator Ed Governor. That's gonna be one of them, see if they can put some pressure on DOT to.
So when you talk to them, did you ask them if towns could buy the bridge? No, I'm serious. I don't know why.
So that was also, that was also one of the, conversations I had with certain people in the bridge department saying, is there, 'cause a lot of times the state will work with municipalities and do a 80-20, buyout or whatever it might be. So we pay for a portion of the project and they pay for a portion of the project to kind of help that along and get it taken further down the road sooner. And they said that there is possibilities in that, but they haven't.
So it'd be good if we had some legislative, there's no reason why.
No,
How many state bridges do you have?
I think that is there's 3, I believe. And it's well, actually, there's more than that. Sweetser Road is actually town-owned. The hard part with that.
Darrell built that. Okay, so
So, and from what I, have learned is the bridge department
this kind of happens, that there's a certain criteria that the bridge has to meet. And by me saying bridge, this is also large culverts. This might be a box culvert or, you know, several different culverts, but as long as it meets the criteria and it's a certain length and width, and it spans a certain, section of stream, that is what considers it state owned and state maintained. Which is kind of odd to me because, like we were saying, a bridge, you know, not a mile downstream or a few miles downstream,
Good mention.
similar dimensions is actually town owned and town maintained. My question is, it's because it's just hard for me to comprehend that this bridge, was restricted 47 ton or 47,000 pounds in, you know, less than 9 months.
That tells me that the 2-year inspections were comprehensive.
But I would definitely be, I think that's a great idea and that's something to look into because not that the town wants to take on this burden, but I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I mean, and I appreciate your circumspection around saying, I think what you said, there's absolutely no reason why. For the state on, you know, on infrastructure in the town, where the state has no vested interest in that afterwards. Exactly. It's totally necessary to require the rest of you to get that bridge up. And even though it's hard for the road crew, snow plows and fire trucks and first call. Yeah, I'm trying to finish the project. I have this bridge. And I have full confidence that it'd be good to do it, just like the and the other bridges, all range road, culvert, every other.
So with that in mind also, and the state engineers go around and they still inspect our town-owned bridges. So they still have the 2-year inspection and they still send us the inspection of the bridge. It's just, so it would still be under the same care as, you know, the state do with their engineers looking at the bridge. It's just that it's would be town-owned instead of, and funded instead of state, which, like you said, the town has, you know, more of the agenda to fix this problem than the state does.
And the town can address it, not be that year funding. We have financial planning committees that could put that in the capital project, put out bridges in California, have them some. Yeah, okay, so Andy, that will be your homework. Matt, thank you very much for the update. And you'll talk to the school. And I've already talked to the student.
They're part of this, in which we've already talked about, because like I said, the school buses and most town equipment was already limited to cross this, before the second production there. And so we already have put, you know, working with homeowners adjacent to the property, we have already put turnarounds in for, you know, school buses, town cars, stuff like that.
I appreciate that.
So I informed the school department, the head of the transportation there that I can, so they are aware of this.
Anything else going on? Good. Everyone's happy?
Everyone seems to be happy. We have had a few correspondence about, trash and trash cans.
Oh,
But we, direct them to the correct people to talk to, and that seems to be working fairly well.
I've got a big, one of those cornucopias that's for the year. Next week, get ready, next Friday. Good to go work. Thank you, Matt. Ginny, anything to report on the code enforcement officer? I know, you're here, it's probably here.
Nothing. I would see that you haven't already said over there.
Okay, so there's no, we have no super shopping malls coming in on the road, tension. Great, thank you. It's nice that going forward, we're gonna actually see the town, like Thank you. Yes, totally put it up. Next time on the agenda, and if you want to, animal control officer, you do a moment. Like, see. All good. All right, next up. On the equal opportunity, I'm going to ask you to go in a minute. Next item on the agenda is economic development. Standard temporary focus.
So they are finishing up on the final report from GP Cog. So they are going to have to meet one or two more times. So we need to oath them in order for them to meet.
Excellent. I move that we approve, Susan Grace Peters to the Economic Development Sustainability Committee. Appointment starts July 22nd and October 31st, 2024. I move that we, appoint Paul Schuman, the Economic Development Sustainability Committee. Appointment begins 22nd, July 22nd, and October 31st, 2024. I move that we appoint Patricia Hodgson, the Economic Sustainability Development Sustainability position, July 22nd. Date term expires October 31st.
I second all motions.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Third. Ms. Cole, what do we have to report on about our town center?
The check for the deposit is getting picked up tomorrow, and he's coming to just pay for the wares being placed and talk some details.
Perfect.
My photo back in was the nine. Everything designed. Hearing me help. I just be happy with the battery on the road, the inside. of the house. So,
Can you put your Malatal hat on now?
yes,
Where are we in renovating the,
so we're waiting for Matt Wilson to clear out the food. We can't move anything until that piece is on.
that's gonna be forever.
It's
Yes.
done.
Done.
Leave it away for me.
Oh,
So, so then they're gonna come up and they start moving to roughly their stuff before that space. Where it is. So we were waiting for that.
thank you, Matt. Okay, so we're, okay, perfect, thank you so much.
I had the meeting on August 8th with the so that the whole meeting will come, because that's the first piece that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Also meeting at the same time, tying energy in them to just budget costs to do some upgrades in the other rooms, even who come to your offices, so you can stage more LED lights to just open up those conversations.
Any conversations with Lighthouse, AV system here?
They're coming next week to find out why for the microphones are not working. Either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Any other disasters that fall down?
No.
Okay, right.
Let me just report out the insurance for the ECWA was canceled 3 days before renewal. So we could not renew with the company that we had. We took money from the sinking fund to purchase insurance for this year at about triple what we've been paying for the last several years. And I met with the ECWA and we decided to research joining Maine Municipal Association in order to get insurance through that. And it opens up opportunities for grants, other windfalls.
Is there a well that the EWCA is gonna test this year?
I will do probably what's her name? Jane Cartman's house.
Movement on, and then we see that gonna become more of an issue. Thank you. Great. Well, we figured this out. Okay. Are there any other, so this is new business. So Friday is gonna be the first day of our new automated solid waste recycling program. I think we should have some kind of unified response to, I want to help, but there's got to come, so. Becky, do you have any thoughts at all, other than have you gone on the Casella app? 3 feet apart, right, on a solid surface,
That's correct. With
at
the
7 AM, the wheels facing the front.
facing out. So they have told me in the first week, they are supposed to be sending what's called a railroad track, which is what we have now. So they're giving a 1 week grace period. So if people are still using the cans, they'll have the other track to pick it up. They'll leave a note that says after this week, we will not pick it up using this. So some people did start using them, and I got feedback from dispatch that trash was in the recycling bin and recycling was in the trash bin, and drivers can't sort it. So there were several like that. Dispatch.
What just differentiates? every- I understand. How do they see that the camera on?
Well, they still have a guy in the back dumping it at this pass.
Oh, okay.
So when you open it,
But with the robot, they won't. The trash is to be, stuff to be the trash. But recycling, you don't put the trash.
No, that's.
But recycling is not. So do we have any questions? We need to discuss it all. But I mean,
Does,
day
does Casella have any more guidance that we could put up on our website for people?
so many obscure terms, like saying bid should be on solid surface. Define that. What does that mean? Has to be concrete? Dirt road right now is solid. February is not solid. May, March. Current forms. They don't put it in a snow bag, but what if it's like, you got 2 feet of snow? I'm just.
So I saw one thing that said, I think it was actually, I don't know where I saw it, it said, take the bins to your house right away. But I can't take the bins to my house. I tried to put them in the meter and I hurt my back. So I wheeled them up the hill and left them in the woods out of sight. But it's not clear to me what happens if the bins get stolen.
So I think that was on our social media post because we got feedback that some bins were stolen. Right after delivery, we also got a call today that a homeowner had just dragged them and put them behind bushes and had been away. And when they came home last night, they were filled with their bins, their private on their property, were filled with antifreeze buckets, tarps, stuff that he just took their dump and dumped it into this person's bins, which all being nice to know too. So we suggested that people try to not keep them right up at the end of the road. And some of the suggestion is build a pot and leave them out there. But we're already seeing that.
Against Okay, so compassion, patience. You know, summertime home, so if you need help, call me, help feel it out. Not sure. You know, we just gotta, but you can.
Do you know how many took the smaller bins?
There's only been one request submitted so far. They've only received one for the, as of last Wednesday. I don't know more. This is actually part of my correspondence, but I have that on to the call under active tech because there's nothing residents when they call in about the active days for that. To call to town. As you look at, and then I know every day to work, it's all rest saying, gotta get this figured out because by the time I'm resident back with their phone call. They're frustrated, you know, rightfully so, and 99% of my correspondence. So that's been a piece where I don't know where the breakdown of communication is to the call center that was on the flyer that everybody got. But there were 3 residents today alone that were told they needed to call me to either send their extra bins back or they didn't get. And they have to work again. Get this product, you know, staff it and get them there before practice if they need the documentation. So I've been sending that email to the rep to make sure that these residents are getting taken care of because the call center is sending them all the.
Well, thank you for all the work.
I did have conversations with next door.
Yeah.
About collaborating, sharing information to help them as they transition, but also talking about the future. I absolutely want to.
Did I miss the solid waste committee?
Thursday, I asked for a report out who the chair was going to be because the current chair was asked to sit down and have this. Questions. I did not see.
I am
You are.
practically on that one. So you, I think you should be more specific about our topic, Durham.
So Durham is transitioning to automation in a year. So they just warned a solid waste committee to start talking about what is that like for Durham, and what are some other options. And one thing that they did mention is the possibility of maybe a transfer station, which they would actually open it up to our residents, and we would help with the operating process. So I reached out to the town manager via email last week. He was on vacation. He called me today, and I just kind of gave him a quick summary of what we've gone through that said I would be happy to come to a meeting, I guess our sheriff's level would be happy to committees, you know, collaborate. So we can help them with their transition, and maybe make it a little less for them, but also talk about the future for our 2 small towns and what possibilities there could be, you know, for service roads. They are very open, and looking want to talk with us.
So, citizens from or down, when the property government have reached out to me, talk about possible collaboration with Durham, in terms of recycling. So it would be a cardboard after, but there, would be, can we put it on central. So anyway, a lot of possibilities. Probably have more items.
Exploration.
Exploration, probably do. Okay. Is there any other new business? Is there any old business? Is there any correspondence other than trash?
So, previously that we were applying for the recycling partnership grant and total amount that often reports. We received a letter denying the grant. The second paragraph of the letter states after careful consideration, I regret to inform you that the town of Holland was not chosen as recipient of the residential recycling card grant program. But acknowledging your community's need to invest in curbside cars and that you might better implement automated residential collections, this grant program's directive is to add more materials to the circular economy, and your residents already recycle at a rate greater than the national average. This should be celebrated, and yet it also means that there are fewer recyclables to recover in your community, and we need to direct our limited grant dollars to the most impact. So we did not get any help with ours.
Promises, promises, promises. Okay, we've already appropriated money. We will get out money to deal with this. But it's a good reminder for everybody that you're gonna see those bins, kind of, ESA. Your trash is costing a lot more money, so when you go shopping, I'm trying to create socialism, but maybe consider the packaging in your purchase set. So that it's all gonna cost town money. Those ugly bins. Okay. The correspondence you still right?
I have nothing.
Then I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Just wait till we get the new sign, we'll put it up.
And there's gonna be a picture. A bio and a roadmap. We will.
I will move that we adjourn.
I second.
Second, all in favor? Okay.